Good morning, students. Today we will learn about good morning, students. Today we will learn about merchant banking, and a merchant banking is a firm or the financial institution providing capital to the companies in the form of share ownership instead of loan. See, we've been learning in the commercial banking sector saying that the primary functions of the commercial bank is providing is accepting the cash as a deposits and giving cash back to customers in the form of loan. The merchant banking is mainly serves the customers who are into uh, pooling finance firm market. So in order to fulfill the share capital requirement, merchant banks will play a role in taking up the share of ownership in the business and advance the money or a capital to start or run the business. So merchant banks also work as a consultancy and provides advisory on corporate matters to firms in which they invest. These banks are experts in international trades, which makes them pundit in dealing with multinational corporations. And merchant bankers help firms or companies in raising finance by ways of issue of shares, bank loans, debentures, etc. And merchant banks do not provide finance to normal public. So as I said in the starting, these are banks which are mostly serving the business customers like companies, corporations, or any in organizations which are running their business. So the merchant banks will cater the capital needs of those organizations. So let's see what are the services that they provide. The services provided by merchant bankers are providing loans to companies and raising funds to new instrument, estimating the amount of funds required, portfolio management, loan syndication, project counseling, market survey and forecasting, fixed deposit management. So these are the services that they provide as a merchant bankers. Let us go in very short detail what are these about. Providing loans to the companies, as we said that the merchant bankers will not provide their services to the common public. They provide only to the companies and corporations that require big amount of money as a part of their capital and finances for their business operations. So, uh, merchant banks will provide loans to the companies, and it will also help it whenever the corporates or companies which go for pooling capital from the new instruments. Like anytime they wanted to issue a new shares into the market or any new bonds or debentures into the market, merchant bankers will come into play when the desired uh, pool of capital is not met. So the leftover the leftover pool of capital will be undertaken by merchant bankers. And next, it will also provide advisory services like estimating the funds required. Take an example: you are a company, and you think that a specified amount of money will become a capital to you, but that might not be the right. So, merchant bankings will also provide advisory services in estimating your business and will be help you in deciding what is the capitals or what is the money that you have to invest as a capital in doing your business and running operations. So, merchant bank will help you estimate the funds required, and also it will help in manage your portfolios, like what place that you have to invest, what product that you have to invest, what services that you have to invest, what are the different factors that involved in running a long business, which will help you earn short-term profits and long-term profits. So it will help you decide the projects that you have to keep or investments or loans that you have to keep, any debitors and creditors that you do have, like they can be it will help you decide whom to be paid first, whom to be paid can be maintained as a creditors. So merchant banks will help you in decision making, and so that you can hold your portfolios efficiently and use your capitals correctly. Loan syndication. Loan syndication is a process where you do have loans from multiple banks, and you pay up and you are ending up paying heavy interest and heavy service charges for all the banks. So what merchant banks will do is it will merge all the loans into one bank, so that you end up paying lesser amount as an interest and have an answerability to the only one person, one bank, obligate where your obligation ends only to the one bank than to the multiple banks. And on the difficulties, it is very easy for you to handle one bank or one financial institutions. So merchant banks will help you syndicate the loans to the one bank or one financial institution, and will reduce your intern burden of interest payment and reduce your obligations from number of banking or financial institutions to one. Then after, merchant bankers will also provide you the project counseling. Merchant bankers, as a market player, what they do have is that they do have wide variety of customers and wide variety of uh, businesses that they fund to. They will get a chance to evaluate lot of different kind of businesses and in different sectors. So merchant banks will help you in designing and planning your organizations and operations. Merchant banks will provide you the project counsel, saying that so and so thing will happen, so and so thing will happen. For so and so amounts will be required as a capital, and you will incur so and so expenses in your operations. So such kind of project counseling will be provided to the promoters or people who wanted to run the business operations. Market service and forecasting. Merchant banks will also help in surveying the markets, how the market is running, whether people are making enough revenues and making profits from those revenues or incurring losses from those revenues. What are the factors that are deciding market to be down or up? What are the positives and what are the negatives? So such kind of surveys and forecastings will be done by merchant bankers. Fixed deposit managements. Merchant bankers will also help companies and business organizations maintain their fixed deposits any time that you wanted to have your profits to be reserved for the future business prospects, and you will make a part of your profits into the reserves. So such kind of reserves will be kept by merchant bankers and utilized in a more prospective way, and they will manage your fixed deposits so that on a time of need you will get a right liquidity, and also you will earn you will in turn earn little more on your reserves. So these are the services provided by merchant banking. Next, what we will see is the functions of merchant banks. So there are six functions defined by merchant banks. So one of which is, as we learned, portfolio management. Merchant banks provide consultancy services to institutional investors and invest on investment decisions. They trade in exchange and securities on behalf of their clients and also manage their portfolios. As we said, they will provide portfolio management services to the customers who are they are serving. They will help them decide what kind of investments can be continued and what kind of investments can be discontinued. What are the revenue generating investments for the companies? What are the loss incurring um, loss incurring assets that they are holding? So they will help out in deciding the profit making or revenue making asset holding, and they will in turn also help in trading and exchange of the investments that they have in their accounts. The second function they do is raising funds for clients. Merchant banks will help in pooling the capitals and which is required for the business establishment or business operations like running day-to-day expenses. So such kind of requirements, like any capital requirements for the newly forming company, and also whether it is domestic or whether it is in international markets, or any securities issued in the international markets, merchant bankers will help out in the companies to expand their region from domestic markets to international markets. This is mainly for the business expansion for the companies or corporations that they are serving. Merchant banker can also be a stock broker in the stock exchanges. So they act as a broker to the companies that they are providing services, being a stockbroker in stock exchanges. They conduct the trading and the trading, account maintenance and portfolio management, and account performance, all these kind of services that they provide to the companies which are the customers to the merchant bankers. Merchant bankers will also help in public issue of companies. Like they will help companies and corporations decide when to go to the public to pool the capital, how much or what are the size of organization that um, you have to set up for as a business organization, or what are the expansion plans that you have to undertake to expand your businesses, and what kind of share allocations or bond units that you have to issue as a securities to the public, and what kind of issuing that you have to do. Either you have to go as an IPO issue, or you go as a debenture issuer into the market. So it will help you decide what kind of public offering that you have to make to the public through stock exchanges. Merchant bankers will also help you appoint the underwriters and brokers at the time of issue. Underwriters are the people who will become the owners at the time of less subscription. Like they themselves will come and invest in your company for the capital that has been less subscribed. And also merchant banker will also act as a manager in your company for the capacity, because they are investing in your company for uh, as a customer to their company. So they will also help you manage your business as a manager, that too in limitation to the capacity that they have invested in your company. Services to the public sectors. Merchant bankers will help public sector companies to decide their long-term capital requirements and marketing of securities and arranging long-term finances for long-term lending institutions. Like any corporations or any organizations which do have uh, a business goal of 25 years, 35 years, or 45 years, which is with a bigger time frame. So merchant bankers will help those corporations who have pooled capital from the public, or public sector units are the corporations that have been set up by the government. Merchant bankers will help these corporations in deciding their capital requirements, and also will help out in marketing their securities, marketing the bonds that are being issued, uh, or any guarantees given by those corporations to the common public in return to the capital investment that public has done. So such kind of services will also be given to the public sector units. And the last and final thing the merchant bankers will do is money market operations. Money market operations are short term related. So, in order to earn the um, in order to pool the requirement for the day-to-day business activities and short-term financial goals. So uh, merchant banker will help corporations in like public sectors, or even private sector banks, private sector companies. It will help in deciding what kind of fixed income securities that they have to go to the public. Like if it is a public sector units, what kind of government bonds that they have to issue to the public, or like for the treasury needs, what kind of treasury bills that government has to issue to the common public in the deciding how much money has to be pooled for the requirements. So all these things will be considered, and merchant bankers will provide help in money market operations, which is in turn required for short-term capital needs. So these are the these are the functions of the merchant banking.